Hi, the purpose of this video here is just to give you a quick overview of the various different HDMI leads that we're selling on the tvtrade.ie website, and also to mention some other associated products, okay? So basically anyway, the range in terms of length of leads that we sell from 1 meter going all the way up to 1.5, 3 meter, 5 meter, 10 meter, 15 and 20 meter leads, okay? Now, when I started stocking these leads about a year ago or so on the site, the industry standard was V1.3, which is basically, you know, a HDMI standard. Increasingly, the industry standard is becoming V1.4, which you know, is a higher spec, but the main advantage to it is that you can future-proof things for 3D TVs, things like this. Now, the reality is that 3D at this point in time, in terms of products, is fairly limited. If you look at the films that's been released in 3D, they're virtually all kids' films. So whether long term there'll be you know, a big market for 3D, very much unknown at this point in time. Okay, but some people want to spend the extra money for it, and we're trying to accommodate to that particular extent. Now, in terms of HDMI leads themselves, what we've basically done is for the smaller leads, in the range of from 1 meter all the way up to about 10 meters, you'll generally find that you know, you can buy reasonably low-cost HDMI leads that'll work quite well. Okay, so we have one short 3D lead, and the rest of them are all V1.3s. Okay, so the 1.5, the 3 meter, 5 meter, and the 10 meters. And in tests that we've done installing HD TVs and things like this, these leads have worked out just fine in terms of signal loss, things like that. They're very, they're all within acceptable parameters. For longer runs like this, you're better off to go for a higher grade cable. So you can see both the thickness of the cables once we move into the 15 and the 20 meters is far thicker. Okay. And in fact, you'll find generally manufacturers, in terms of low-cost HDMI leads, they just don't make them in anything longer than 10 meters, simply because they know, I suppose, from past experience, that signal loss may become a problem. Okay. In terms then of the products that we have to go with the HDMI leads, we have things here like the 2, the 4, and the 8-way HDMI splitters. And the idea with these products is you simply feed in a single cable and you can feed then 2, 4, 6 or 8 televisions. Now there's an alternative product to this where you're feeding inputs from a number of different products and HDMI outputs, would say a HD satellite box, a HD recorder, things like this, and feeding it to a single television. But they're far less popular. We don't stock them currently on the TV Trade website. And also then we have the following 2 products, which the purpose of these are to join. One is called a HDMI repeater, which is a plug-in and relatively expensive unit, and then we have next to it a HDMI coupler, which is a relatively low-cost unit. I'm just going to pick up the coupler here for a moment, if you just want to focus in on it. And the idea with this particular product is, if you had a cable that was too short and you wanted to extend or join 2 cables together, you would simply come along and take a HDMI lead like this one, and you'd simply slot it in here. And clearly you do the same on the far side. And it works quite well with short runs of cable, where the repeater, which is an expensive unit, would be used with longer runs of cable, and particularly for if you're joining with, say, a 15 or a 20 meter cables together, something like this, the signal loss over the total length would just be too high, so a repeater would be ideal. So as you can see anyway, we have quite a good range of cables, definitely on a reasonably competitive on the price front, and you know, the range is there. So that's it beginning to end, the range of HDMI cables from tvtrade.ie.